Hey guys, welcome to another video of Kyperian Automation. Today's topic is UI automation too much maintenance? I hear that question from a lot of project managers that they don't want to jump into UI automation because it's going to be too much overhead to maintain the scripts that you develop. Well, let's talk a little bit about that today. And I've laid out here three main reasons why their scripts constantly need maintenance. So let's go through it. First up, and this is going to be the biggest one, and when I say the biggest one, it's probably 80% of the time this is the problem. Object locators. How people are writing object locators, it's not working. You're not using appropriate best practices. Let me show you what I mean. For an object in Katalon, or in even Selenium, for any object, you can set up, so let's go with this object right here, a count dropdown. When we select it, we can see the XPath. A lot of people use CSS locators. I like XPaths because they're clean, they always work, and if you write it right, it's never going to break unless the developers have done serious changes on a web application. But for this particular, if you choose the right elements, I'm going to show you more details here, but let me show you what most people do that cause the problem. So I have opened my script and I made it fail right on selecting this as an object. And this is just the account button, the account drop down. What I've seen people do to create bad objects that's going to need a lot of maintenance, and even on the teams that I have, they'll go right to copy full XPath, and they will drop this straight in as their XPath. And if you know anything what's going on with an XPath, this is horrible. If anything changes on the web page before it, all these divs, all these navs, those are things just that come before the element somewhere else, right? So if anything changes upstream from the button that we're trying to get, everything's going to fail. This is the main reason why I see scripts needing so much maintenance. Another thing is that they might make it off of something weird on the element. Let me show you. Let's say I copied here and I made this my XPath. Looks good, it worked. Look, it highlighted it. But look what's going on. There's also 7 more elements on the web page that have the exact same XPath. And yeah, you can do things to make it work where you say something like this, and that'd work. You can make that work. But that's not appropriate. Sometimes you have to do this on certain objects, but the best thing to do is choose something unique on the element that nothing else on the web page is going to have, such as settings. Let's do that right now. Let me show you what I mean. You're going to have to get comfortable writing XPaths if you're into UI automation. Some people like the CSS selectors. I don't particularly do. Okay, so now that we have this here, we can see that there's only one web element on the page with that address. I just drop that right into your XPath. You're good to go. All right. Now that we have that hammered out, that's the main reason why people have bad experiences with automation. Bad XPath writing. Invest time into writing good XPaths. Learn how it works. Okay. Now everything else, again, that's that 20%. The next thing, bad coding, bad practices. Okay, and what do I mean by that? Well, when you first start UI automation, you have that big high where everything's moving great. But if you don't label your objects well, and you don't organize it into your folders very well, it's going to be all over the place. Because you're going to call on that object later on whenever you're trying to make another script. And so if you're not organized at the beginning, you're going to rush through so many scripts, and the more scripts that you have, you're going to have a whole slew of objects hanging out in a folder somewhere. If you are not organized, it's going to get lost. And if you need to do any sort of maintenance on that object, because who knows what happens, That means you might have multiple objects doing the same things, but you just have them in multiple, you have multiple of them. And so they're all going to need maintenance, and it becomes a nightmare. Also, if you don't have clean code, it's not only going to be difficult, it might actually work just fine. But if anybody needs to come in and work on it, it becomes another nightmare. So if you lay out your code cleanly, I mean, just look at the structure on this, you can probably figure out fairly quickly what's happening in my script here without a lot of understanding. Because just because you wrote the script doesn't mean you're going to be the person who's going to be maintaining the script. So try to make it clear, try to make it clean, and that'll carry you through. Okay, so bad practices. And the last one, again, this probably covers the last 10%, but this can just be something that upsets a lot of people. WebDriver Updates. Okay, and if you're familiar with Katalon and automation, maybe Selenium, you know exactly what that is. But if you don't, Katalon, they need their drivers updated frequently. And so you could be getting bad. It'll be flagging you for, it's going to say it right into your console window that you need to update your driver. Fairly simple, but if you're running in the CI/CD pipelines, then you're going to get this a lot. So get used to this. Try to update bi-weekly, and it won't be a problem. I think that covers. I mean, there's going to be other reasons why you might have frustrations in making your automation a nightmare, but a lot of those can be overcome. In summary, actually, let's do this. Answer. Is it a nightmare? You know what? It can be if we make it one. Best practices can help you avoid that. So if you're looking for someone to help you with your best practices and getting some of this straightened out, feel free to reach out. I'd love to partner with you at KyperianAutomation.com. Thanks, guys, for joining, and I'll see you on the next one.